Did you know that projectors are now affordable? If you're like me, I've wanted a projector for many years, but they were multiple thousands of dollars, and you would hear the horror stories of the bulbs that would burn out and they costed like $800 to replace. Well, we now have budget options from companies like Aurzen. I looked up on Amazon and I saw that the Aurzen projectors were some of the most popular units. So I bought their two best-selling units, the Aurzen Ease D1 and the D1 Pro. In this video, we will find out which one actually offers the better value. I'm going to compare the two head to head and give you some tips and tricks so you can get the best experience out of your new projector. So make sure you stick around. Let's open up the D1 and see what you get in the box. All right, screen cleaning with some Q-tips. Nice. Got the remote, which is very cool. I like that it's got the buttons there for quick access. Power cable doesn't have the third prong, so it's a little bit more accessible. Here's an HDMI cable, which comes with it. I mean, I think most people have tons of those, but it's good that they give you one just in case. Here's the actual projector. Oh, very nice. Pretty nice quality, actually, right off the bat. It feels nicer than I thought. It doesn't feel like a really cheap device. It's got a pretty decent build quality to it. Let's take the cap off. Cool, there it is. Okay, and here are the remotes for both units. They're pretty similar. The big difference is that the Pro actually has a Bluetooth remote, so you don't have to aim this at the projector. You can just hold it in any direction. You're most likely going to have the projector behind you, so it's kind of weird to have to aim it back. And here's the power cable for the D1. It's just got the two prongs there. There's no ground prong. And here's the power plug for the D1 Pro. It's a brick style with two cables you have to attach, and it is a 3-prong. So if you're going to use this one with an extension cord, make sure you have a 3-prong extension cord. Another thing that they do have is they do have these buttons on the top. And one of the nice things about the D1 Pro is that, see, the buttons actually light up, whereas the regular D1, they don't light up. They're just, touch buttons, but they don't actually have a light behind them. So that is one of the things that's nicer about the D1, but you're probably going to use the remote or your stream stick anyway, so not really a big deal. And the most important thing is obviously the image quality. So here's what that looks like between the two. So now for the image comparison test, I've got both the units set up. I got them focused and keystone as best as possible on the wall there. We got the D1 Pro on the left and the regular D1 on the right. And it's very, very weird because if you look at the image at the top, like where it says search or type URL, it's pretty clear. But when we go to the D1 Pro, it's just a little bit blurrier and I really don't understand it. Now, as far as brightness goes, you can see the brightness is not any sort of a significant difference. The D1 Pro is supposed to be 75% brighter, but I just don't see it. Honestly, it looks more or less the same to me. Maybe it's a tiny bit brighter, but then the image quality is actually a downgrade. Like if we look where it says search or type, or like even on that Netflix logo or where it says trending now, and then we go to the regular D1, it's sharper. You have better sharpness there. I really don't understand it. It's super weird. I think what's happening is that the internal LCD on the D1 Pro is the same, but it's got a brighter bulb outputting more light, which is actually distorting the image a little bit. I've got them both focused as best as possible. I've got the keystoning set up. I swear in person, the brightness looks more or less the same, but the regular D1 has sharper image, especially when it comes to that writing. It's super weird, but honestly, the D1's image quality is better between the two. And here are the ports. Both models have the same selection of ports. You've got your power, an HDMI, 2 USBs, and headphone jacks. Now, those USBs are actually not too powerful. I tried to connect my Chromecast power to one of these, but the Chromecast would error out, so I did have to plug it directly into the wall. I was hoping I could just have like a short little USB cable and power the Chromecast through those, but unfortunately that does not work. Now, both units do come with a built-in operating system, but it's quite basic. It's a little bit slower, and actually the image output is not as good as what I have with my Chromecast. Here's the Plex app open on the software on the projector itself, and I can show you what I mean about the quality. Even right here in this main menu, like look at Raymond's face, it's pretty blurry, right? But watch, I'm going to switch to Plex on the Chromecast, and you're going to see how much clearer things look. So here's my Chromecast remote. I'm just going to hit home. It's going to switch to that HDMI input. And now if I go to TV shows, right away, look how much clearer those are. Like I'm going to zoom into Ray's face. Look at that. Significantly clearer. I can actually see their faces now, and as well as the text and all the writing. So not only is the built-in software kind of slow, it doesn't even output as good of an image quality as the Chromecast does. So I really think you should connect one of these stream sticks, whether you're using Apple TV or Amazon Fire Stick. You're gonna want to use a stream stick because they work a whole lot better and they're faster. They have access to all the applications you could ever want. Like I even have Steam Link if I want to stream games from my PC. Things load up super quick. Like if I just hit YouTube, like boom, there's YouTube. It's open, right? It's so fast, much faster than that built-in software. So I really do think, depending on which ecosystem you're using, you should connect a Google Chromecast, an Apple TV, or an Amazon Fire Stick. Now I'm not sure about Apple or the Amazon Fire Stick, but with the Google Chromecast, if I press the power button on the remote, it does turn on the projector. I also can use my standard voice controls with my Google ecosystem and just say, Google, turn on the projector, it turns on. This one's good if you want to make some adjustments to the focus or you need to do some keystone adjustments, but for regular usage, you can set this one aside. So if I hit the power button here, and there we go. Projector fires right up. And there's our image there. Now they both have autofocus and of course keystone correction, so you can actually size the image correctly to your wall. Here's how that works. This is the main menu here. If I go into settings and I go into keystone, I go into 4 points correction. You can see I can actually grab each corner and move it. So like for example, here we're at 9 and 6. By default, it was like this. It was like hitting the ceiling and it was all wrong, right? So I go down to 6 and take it to 9. That's where I had it before. And of course you can grab every corner and really get that dialed in just right until it fits your wall perfectly. Then if we go home, boom, just like that, it literally looks like a perfectly sized TV to your wall exactly. It's really awesome the way you can adjust things and get it to fit your wall perfectly like that. It also has an auto focus mode. I've turned it off because every time you turn on the projector, it's gonna have this autofocus thing that happens, which can be kind of annoying, or autofocus after displacement. So if it gets knocked, if it gets moved around, it'll autofocus. But once you have it set where you want it, you really don't need that. And here's the focus here. So I can press the button and just adjust the focus. So it's now out of focus. And I take it back to where it's pretty much perfectly clear, right around there. And there we go. Now we're perfectly back in focus. So you can have the autofocus, but I recommend that you just turn it off because after you get yourself set up right, you don't really need to change any more settings. And after playing around with both units, I discovered what settings were really the best. Here's the settings I recommend that you use. So we go into the main settings and go into picture mode, select that. See at the top, you can select custom. If you want to just do something real simple, you can go to high bright, but I found if I did my own custom settings, it was best. So brightness around 60, contrast at 90, saturation 60, sharpness all the way to 20, and gamma middle, color temperature normal. Now you want to adjust this also when you're on the HDMI input. So if I switch to my Chromecast, you want to press that button right there. So the setting is different whether you're on the HDMI or if you're using the built-in OS. So those settings right around there seems to look the best in my opinion. Now both units have built-in speakers with Dolby technology. Now let's do an audio test, see the difference in the speakers between the two. I'm going to play the same song through the Chromecast on both of them. Let's start with the regular D1. And there's no comparison. The D1 sounds pretty good, but as soon as you hear the D1 Pro, it's significantly louder with deeper bass and clearer sound. But I still do think you should use a separate audio solution. But if you do plan on using the built-in audio, the D1's pretty good. It's certainly usable. The D1 Pro is significantly better. And if you're going to use the built-in audio, then that's something you may want to consider when it comes to the D1 Pro. I do have a Bluetooth connector I purchased on Amazon. I'll show you how that works. I really recommend you pick this up if you already have some speakers because it actually stays on and connects as soon as you turn on the projector. I've also got these Logitech THX speakers here. They sound fantastic. and I have this Bluetooth receiver that connects with the projector right away. The nice thing about this receiver is that it does stay on as long as it's got power, and anytime I turn the projector on, it's going to automatically pair up. I had another receiver that wouldn't turn off. I have to manually turn it on every single time, which was quite annoying. That one stays on, which makes it a nice seamless experience. As soon as you turn the projector on, it's going to pair up right away. There you go. And that beep sound means that it's now connected. They really give you big sound to match the big screen, and it really gives you that movie theater type of experience. Now let's look at fan noise. So clearly the D1's fan is quieter, and I use the projector in my bedroom. I much prefer the quieter fan on the D1 compared to the Pro. The Pro's a little bit too loud. You do have to turn up the volume on your content to drown out that fan noise. Another thing to take note of is that these are not maintenance-free items like a TV. They do have dust buildup on the lenses. You do get that cleaning kit that comes in the box. I've got this camera cleaning kit here. You can see these are the swabs that the projector comes with. It also comes with a cleaning cloth. So if you pick up a camera cleaning kit like this, they'll come with these air blowers. So you can actually just go in there with the dust and blow it out. See, there's dust particles coming out of there. It does get quite dusty, and you can leave the dust cap on there if you want to, but you may end up moving and repositioning the projector. So I don't really use this too much. Maybe for travel, I would use that. But under normal use, I just keep this here, and every once in a while, just blow the dust out before I'm about to use it. They do give you the cloth and the swabs, but I really wouldn't put swabs on there. I think these may scratch it. I don't think it's the best idea. You want to get a camera cleaning kit with one of these very soft brushes to get little particles of dust off without scratching. But mostly you'll just want to use the air blower and not touch the lens at all. There's also dust filters inside the projectors that you may want to clean from time to time. So it's not like a TV where it's this maintenance-free situation. You do have dust buildup in the projectors. They do have fan noise. They can't really be used during the day. They are not really a direct replacement for a TV. They're something that should be used in addition to your standard TV setup. So what are my final thoughts? Even if we don't factor in price, the D1 is better. It's the better projector. It's quieter. It has a smaller power plug. It's a slightly smaller body, and it has better image quality, which is super weird. I really didn't expect that. I'm glad I bought both so I could show you guys that. The D1 Pro has better speakers, and it does have a Bluetooth remote, so you don't have to actually aim it at the projector itself, which is a nice touch. But I recommend you use a stream stick anyways, which cancels out the remote. And I really do think you should be using separate speakers than the built-in ones, which cancels out the better audio of the D1 Pro. So both the strong points that make the D1 Pro better are canceled out anyways. I really did not expect this going into this. I really thought that the Pro was going to be the better unit, but it's not. Sometimes companies try to improve a product only to make it worse. And that's exactly what's happened here between the Aurzen D1 and the D1 Pro. So I'm going to be returning the D1 Pro and hanging on to the regular D1 for my long-term use. So I've linked both of the projectors in the description. I also put that Bluetooth module that I recommend that you use for your setup. I've also linked a mini tripod and a full-size tripod depending on your setup, and a recommended cleaning kit so you can keep your projectors in good working order. And so that's a nice full package to give you everything you need to have the best experience with your new Aurzen projector. Now let me know if I missed anything, and I'm going to cover it in a short. And also check out my other video where I reviewed the Lenovo Yoga 7i 2-in-1 laptop and compared it with its bigger brother, the Lenovo Yoga 9i. Please like and subscribe if you found the video helpful, and check out my links if you want to support the channel. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.